All right, Assalamualaikum. How are you today? I hope you are okay at home or wherever you are. So, based on the mock speaking that we have done, I have prepared some comments for you so that we can look at it together and try to improve. Right? So, the first thing is this is very important. Actually, all are very important. So the first thing is to read and understand the situation given to you. That's why if you notice in the question, there is one part where it has the situation. This situation is very important because your content is whatever that you are going to say. So your content must be based on the situation given. It is very important to always relate whatever that you want to say to the situation given so that you don't talk about irrelevant ideas. The next thing is when you are getting started, do not choose with which point that you want to agree with prior to the group discussion, meaning maybe you discuss with your friends which one that you want to agree with, and then during the group discussion you will be talking about the same thing. This is very dangerous because if you choose only one point, basically you will be talking about the same point, about the same thing. So when you talk about the same thing, three people talking about the same thing, you will not have much things to say, especially for the second and the third person. So this is very dangerous because whatever that you say, the supporting details will be awarded marks, right? So you just let the discussion flow naturally. During the 2 minutes preparation, use that time to choose which point that you want to agree and disagree, and just prepare the supporting details to support your opinion, whether you agree or disagree. The next one, this is very important because I noticed that many of you don't use transitional words when you want to organize your ideas. Use the transitional words which are easy to remember. For example, firstly, secondly, my second point is another reason is finally, in conclusion, and there are many other transitional words that I have given you in the notes. You can go back and refer to that. But my personal advice is to always use transitional words which you are comfortable with. Okay. The next one is the use of Malay language. So please avoid using Malay language. During the practice, I can help to supply you with the English word of the Malay word that you do not know. But if possible, try to avoid using Malay language. Slip of the tongue is okay, but if you um, intentionally use Malay language, that is not okay. All right. The next one is some common errors that I would like to point out here. You like to say "for my opinion." Normally we say "in my opinion," or this one happens to everybody. You like to say "I'm agree" or "I'm disagree." Should be "I agree" or "I disagree" without the "and." Okay. And what if when you are presenting and you run out of things to say, meaning you don't have much ideas? Okay, it happens to everyone all the time. You get blanked out. So the trick is to ask for your friend's opinion. You can just, you know, you don't have things to say, and then you just say, Ali, what is your opinion about this issue? So based on what your friend is going to say, you might have some ideas of what to say. Then after that, you can always interrupt and agree or disagree with your friends and add your own opinion or your own ideas. Some more tips and tricks. You don't have to talk about all the points given. You just choose the one that you agree and the one that you disagree. And when you want to interrupt, use proper language expressions. I've given the notes to you on the proper language expressions to use. You can say, "Excuse me, Ali, can I say something?" And when you speak, always agree and disagree with your friends, because when you agree and disagree, you will support your opinion with supporting details. So these supporting details are what will give you marks for your content. So it is very important to agree and disagree. And communicate verbally instead of making signals. Don't give signals to your friend. So communicate. If you want your friend to give his or her opinion, you just say, Ali, what do you think about this issue? Can you give your opinion? Or Ali, do you agree with me about what I have said just now? Okay. So by communicating, you will be making the discussion more lively, more interactive. So this is very important. And you can ask questions to your friend when you see that they do not know how to start, or they do not know what to say, or maybe it's a trick when you run out of ideas. So you ask questions to your friends. Okay, example, what do you think about my opinion? And always state clearly which one that you agree, or which point that you agree and which point that you disagree on. Now, disagreeing can also help you to get marks, because when you disagree with other points given, uh, the supporting details will show that the point is weak. So, in a way, you are telling people that your opinion, the point that you agree with, is very strong. And in a way, this will convince other people, or convince your friends to agree with you. And normally disagreeing is done after you agree. Okay, normally we don't disagree first and then we agree later. We agree first and then you disagree after that. And always remember, this is a group discussion, so communicate and be interactive during the 8 minutes given. Please do not wait for me to prompt, meaning do not wait for me to ask questions, because I am actually there to just observe and listen to what you have said and give you marks. Okay, I am not supposed to ask questions, so I'm not supposed to help. So it's just between the two or the three of you to communicate and interact with each other. And when you communicate naturally. Imagine that this is a group discussion which is being conducted using the English language. Other than that, the rest is just the same as any other normal group discussion. And when you make conclusion, always start with in conclusion, based on our discussion, we have agreed that blah blah blah. Okay, what is the point that you have all agreed on? So that is how to make the conclusion. You don't have to give more opinions or reasons, and conclusion should be short and straight to the point. You don't have to add any elaboration, and normally only one person makes the conclusion. So yeah, that is all that I have to comment. So you may want to improve on your um, um, speaking skill, and if time permits, we will do another round of mock speaking, so that you get um, uh, sufficient practice for your speaking assessment. All right, so that should be all. Thank you very much for your time. Assalamualaikum.